So guys, because we love the Nightwish army so much, and we love one of their amazing generals, one of their amazing commanders in Trinks, who is the proprietor, who is the manager of the Reacticide channel, we bumped up her request for Tarot Undead Indeed Tides. So we're gonna listen to that. Guys, go join the Reacticide Discord if you love Nightwish stuff. I'm sure a lot of you guys are already there, and that's why you're here. So again, thank you for being here. But yeah, Trinks, thank you as always. You're a lovely human. So let's keep it going with Tarot Tides Undead Indeed.
Aiotaan nimittäin testata, että saadaanko teidät kyyneliin.
Wow.
Toivon mukaan.
Yo, is this like 75 years ago? I'm just kidding. Yeah, it looks, he's young though, damn.
Jos ei, niin sekin välttää kyllä. Saa olla muuten vaan murheellinen. Seuraavan biisi aloittaa Janne Tolsa.
2006-ish, yeah. What a handsome man.
Your face as if in a dream. Eyes where the shadows drown, frozen in a frown. And I feel like paper burning free. The wind is shattering on the sky and the sea. Whoa, now endless days alive.
Guys, was Marko doing the high harmony there? Or was that really? Wow. We've talked a little bit about, you know, Marko's journey, vocal journey, how he had to go get surgery at one point. But this was before that, and clearly, I didn't know it was, I couldn't tell it was him. Yo, let's go back.
On the sky, on the sea.
Just like a smooth, easy. It's like a smooth, easy. Like even I in this state can't sing with that little tension, right? I mean, that's not saying much, honestly, but regardless, like he sings with so much ease in his tone in the bottom. There's none of that grit, it's just a very healthy tone, which you hear in something like While Your Lips Are Still Red, right? And that's what allows him, he maintains all of that balance in the voice as he goes up to these high notes. Listen to this. Listen to how little the sound actually changes. It gets body, it gets some more clarity, it gets all of those natural things that happen when the voice goes higher and works healthily higher. And I think this ability, this technique is what allowed him to recover from that surgery as well, and from that apparently botched surgery, because he already knew how to use the voice in such a natural and healthy way. We're going to hear that as he goes up.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. staring, dreaming, car racing, steaming, just some fog in my eyes.
Yeah, the only thing you get differently is he changes the vowels a little bit to be more optimized on the top, and that's why you get the sound much more you know, you get that more of that openness, that a little bit of neutral text. Otherwise, the voice is working in the exact same way. He's just ramping up the breath and making it happen. What a legend, dude. This is great technique. I don't even know if it's conscious or not. It doesn't need to be conscious. It's just beautiful, healthy singing, you know? And I think things that get you vocal damage that leads to surgery are things like overuse, things like pushing yourself too far, too much time, which are the demands of a big career, right? It's not necessarily that he was unhealthily singing. This guy knows how to use his voice in an incredibly amazing way, and I've never heard him do it at this early. You know, I've never heard big singing from Marko like this early on in his career, and it's something I feel like I can learn from immensely as a singer. As I can learn to teach better because I hear someone singing like this. Sorry for all the pauses, guys, but this is just fantastic. Now I want to draw some attention to the way that he uses coloratura in his voice. Now that's the old ancient Italian way of just saying how he sings notes quickly. And he's done it this way forever. I instantly was brought back to that duet between him and Flor singing Ave Maria. And he does it so beautifully in a very somewhat similar way. A little more breathy, a little older. Obviously time had passed since this point. But the way he does a da 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 da, because he's able to do it so fluidly, that's another thing that sticks out to like a voice teacher's ear, is that that's how you move your notes on the breath. If you don't move it on the breath, you're doing it through tension, and that's not good. The way he just goes down, da da da.
Emptiness now calls, where hope crumbles with a wall.
Thank you for clarifying that, Skyface. So he had surgery in 1996. This concert was in 2007, and he had a polyp near his vocal cords. So a polyp is something that occurs with overuse in a small section of the vocal cords. If you're using a specific type of, if you're closing too hard in a certain part of your cords, they rub together and they make a polyp. Now polyps are not, you know, by no means they permanent. They can be fixed. They can be fixed with therapy, which is a longer process, or surgery. And sometimes that surgery, the healing process, is what creates more harm than good. Now, interesting though, he permanently lost his ability to sing upper falsetto. That makes sense, because if you have scarring is usually the biggest cause of post-vocal surgery damage. Like the recovery process, if it scars too much in your vocal cords, you can't create a thin vocal cord enough. And what falsetto is, you know, high breathy falsetto, is the thinnest possible membrane of your vocal cords coming together to create. Now those are like the thinnest razor edges of the vocal cords, and if you have some scarring there, then your vocal cords can't come together normally. What you can still do is things like use a little more breath, move the cords a little more. You can scream, you can do all that stuff. That's a thicker vocal cord, right? But if you want to just do, you need to be able to thin those cords out. And if you have scar tissue on them, they can't do that. So that's probably what happened to Marko with the botched surgery. Polyps and nodes are, I don't think they're exactly the same, but I'm not a doctor. There are tons of videos and information on the internet if you want to clarify. Like dust. Yeah, all polyps and nodes, by the way, guys, I'll go back so I don't jumble this up, but polyps and nodes can both be remedied through vocal therapy. It just takes longer. Vocal cysts. Cysts are more beneath the tissue. It's farther in. Those have a harder time. Those take a longer time to happen through misuse, but they can only be fixed with surgery, unfortunately. I actually have some colleagues who've had to deal with that. Anyway, the technique is what gets you through it, though. All you learn in vocal therapy, voice therapy, is how to use your voice from a medically more healthy technique, right? It's not about the aesthetics of the sound, although a healthy voice does have a pleasing sound to it. When you go to voice therapy, you go towards the optimal, healthy type of phonation. When you go to a voice lesson, you're learning how to sing both healthily and aesthetically well. So, two different things. You're absolutely right, Trinks. Singing is what saved his voice in the end. 100%. Now, I want to say that being a bass player probably really helps him with singing. Now, that's just a wild claim, right? But it's a wild claim. But there's something about, what's the role of the bass in the band? It's to keep the pulse. It's to keep that blood pumping underneath. It's not the beat, right? That's the drummer. The drummer keeps the rhythm, right? But with the bass, you keep that, you feel that blood pumping in the bass, and that's that kind of grounded feeling that if you engage with in your body while you're singing, you can feel that and be in tune with your singing. And that's why I think he's able to go up now, having gone through that recovery process, getting his voice back, singing beautifully. He's from a technical point of view, he's going from the chest, stringing his voice through the passage, the transition notes, the passaggio as we call it in Italian, and he goes right up to those high ringing notes with no interruption. Like, this is fine singing. If I teach a group of singers to be teachers, I would use this as an amazing example of what it means to be a singer that uses the voice in a very professional and healthy way. Yeah, the bass is that oomph. And if you have that oomph in your body as you're singing, everything stays grounded and nothing gets high and tight, right? Being high and tight in the voice gets you, that's what leads to things like nodes and vocal damage. Being low and grounded is what lets you sing with passion and color and sound. It's awesome. Trinks, this is one of the best singing examples I've ever heard. Like, I also love that we can see his face, right? other thing about that bass oomph, that feeling of bass while you're singing, that feeling, that oomph in your body, is that it makes your singing easier for you, but it also, we hear that oomph in your sound. We hear that if you're not singing in a grounded way, we lose so much color and we lose so much emotion in the sound. We never lose that with Marko. He sings like a bass, not like a voice bass. He sings like a tenor, like a tenor voice, but he sings like a bass instrument in that we always hear the arc of sound, the flourish of we always hear the oomph in his sound, right? God, it's so awesome. Guys, so I remember the first time I heard.
Oh, I see your face as if not real. Eyes with the shadows frozen in a frown.
So who says that, like, light, you know, that light, no one says this, but I was just about to say, like, who says that light phonation isn't powerful? That light voice at the end, after bringing all of that power, being able to draw it back, what a treat, dude. What a treat to be able to hear this vocal journey over time. And it's obviously, it's wrenching to hear that he's leaving Nightwish, but you no doubt this voice is going to keep singing, right?